Hi guys, Ross here, and this is my first into a new line of videos where we're going to be talking and looking about conversion rates. So my plan is for conversion rates, we're going to look at the big boys, we're going to see how they're converting people through their sites and how they're doing it, with the idea that we can then take some of the ideas from the big boys and how we can develop them for our own sites. So the first one I decided to kind of start this off with is Infusionsoft. So one of the daddies of all the CRMs. So Infusionsoft, hopefully if you don't know, is a software where it can manage all of your client interactions. It can do a lot more than that, but that's not overly important at the moment. What we're going to be focusing on is what they're doing on their website to make us want to buy from them. So how are they building credibility? What are they showcasing on the site for us to want to buy from them? So this is it. So as we can see, obviously you've got your standard system. We've got Infusionsoft logo in the corner, which clicks out. There, people want to know what the software is pricing, insights, services more, and most importantly, at the top here, they've put their button, Start My Demo, in a different color, high up here with a hover over on it, which stands out in the green. So what we'll notice here, a button I would always call a call to action or a CTA. So throughout this, if I refer to it as a CTA or a call to action, that basically means when they're getting us to perform an action that they want us to do. So they want us to book a demo. So that's kind of what the idea is. So you'll hear straight away over here, you'll see there's another kind of purposely brightly coloured, using the green to make it stand out, to catch the user's eye for us to want to press this. So what people don't realise is just the colour of a button can affect how many people are going to press it. So using the green from here and a nice darker background, and then made this area purposely darker in the photo to make this stand out, is a really good way of doing it. So one of the first things we notice when we land on the page is this text here. And what it does is, as soon as you land on the page, there's no slider, there's nothing fancy. We've got a nice picture, and the idea is this is people using it. So this is the type of people we expect to be using it. So you can see they look kind of designery, they look quite young. It's not necessarily stiff people in suits. So again, we're getting an idea of who would be using it, and we can see a very small snapshot of how it's going to look. And then we've got this big title to explain exactly what it is. Now this is like a really important rule that all sites should really take advantage of. And that is, as soon as someone lands on your page, we need to get across what you do as quickly as possible. And it's kind of known as like the 5-second rule. So if someone lands on your page, isn't immediately know what you're going to do, then they're probably going to leave. So we need to hit them with this information as quick as possible. If that title does enough to explain, then we hit them with a subtitle or a small bit of information. So that works really nicely. They've then got this other kind of call to action here, which is to push users. So 3 sales promotions. I would imagine if we click that, we'll get taken to somewhere for us to grab our details off us. So again, really good idea. And what we should all be doing with our websites is, it's not just a case of identifying that we want them to do one thing. We should always try and get them to do a minimum of 2 different things. So for Infusionsoft, I would say the main purpose is for you to try and book a demo with them. And the second purpose is for them to capture your details. So for them to give you something of value in return for your details so they can market to you at a later date. So you can see that's already covered here straight away at the top of the page with, we're getting a demo and they're trying to capture our details. So really great way of doing this so far. As we scroll down, we've then got a sticky menu at the top, which is great. And you'll notice that as I was scrolling down, that all the menu options disappear from the top, other than the Start My Demo. So the menu options only appear again when my mouse cursor hovers over here. And that's a really nice way to just draw attention to this Start My Demo. So if at any point I've seen enough to want to look at it, then that's what I'll do. So you've got a little bit of text information. So again, why Infusionsoft? Because in theory, that's going to be one of the questions. So they've done they've done well that they know that's going to be a question that people ask, so they're going to highlight that. So they're using something here. So they're using trust enablers. So they're pointing out how many people are using that. So if you've never even heard of Infusionsoft before, you're going to look at that figure and go like, wow, that's a big number. So that's going to be impressive. You can also see that they've been around for 15 years. So straight away, right near the top of the page, we're getting these big credibility builders. So this works really well. As well as this, what they do is a really nice and clean, and it quickly gets over the benefits of what they are. So they're very much selling, I don't know if you've ever heard this term before, but they're selling the benefits. So they're selling the hole rather than the drill. So instead of saying how they do it, they're just saying this is what it can do. So it can capture more leads, it can improve conversion rates, you can master e-commerce, manage the sales process, and save more time. So, for me as a user, if I'm reading that, I'm thinking, you know what, this sounds great. This is exactly what I'm after. And they're not too worried about overcomplicating the design, and this is really important. Lots of people make the error of trying to make everything stand out, and then instead nothing stands out. So instead we have a nice clean image, some negative space, the white, which really makes this blue really kind of stand out and draw the user's eye. Icons are also a really great way of doing that. So again, beautiful design overall for this. And then we've got another call to action to explore the software if we want. So these ones here are for their blog. These will probably be more from an SEO point of view, so to show that the site's got some fresh content on. But also, if we manage to get this far down the page, it might be a case that they've already heard the software before, they want to learn a little bit more about it. So this is where they're giving their value away. So wanting to know a bit more, they can do that here. So again, works really well. And even just the little details that they have on here, like little hover overs. So when I hover over the next one, you'll see this little drop shadow appears in the background. Gives a really nice premium feel to the site in a really simple way. So that's a really nice thing to do. Again, call to action at the bottom. They do this at the end of each section. And you'll also notice that they section each area out by a slightly different color. And that makes it obvious to the user this should be a section that's kind of digested and read on its own, which works really well. As you'll see here in this section, again, we're really pushing the credibility of how many people they're working with. So you'll see that this is the second time it's used, and then we've also got a third one here. So potentially the reason they do this is not everyone's going to always read your title, but something with icons and this type of thing here are a really nice, clean way. And this information here is purely just credibility builders. 29 billion emails delivered, 3.4 billion payments processed. These are really impressive figures. And if I'm looking for this type of software, this is going to really impress me. And again, nice kind of dark color to separate it out. So it's nice to not always have the same white and really light grays. We want to mix up a bit, have some darker bits. It just makes it more visually interesting. And the really good thing about that is they've also used this, and now at my company we would call this logo porn. So the idea is that we're showing all the big companies that either work with us or what people have said about us, and we're stealing their credibility. So everyone's heard of Inc., everyone's heard of Forbes, probably heard of Entrepreneur and Fortune, so really big well-known companies, and they're showing testimonials for these people. So it's a really great way to just build credibility. And like for us, what we can learn from this is, even if we don't have the press, we should be showing off some of our bigger clients and kind of stealing their credibility to say, we're good because these people trust us. So that's something we can take from it. Now, testimonials are one of the best ways to build credibility and kind of showcase how good you are. So what they've done here is they've actually done these as videos and as full case studies. But for smaller companies, they don't want to invest in that. There are a couple of rules that I would always say. So you should always have a picture of the person because it makes it more real. I would normally have the name and the title, and I would also have a testimonial from that person. So I'm not going to click into these, but they're always really good ways of doing it. And again, it makes it seem more real because you can relate to these people, because these aren't just people who are, wearing, suits and, the Fortune 500 people. These just like normal people like you and me. So this is why these work really well. Again, another call to action. Another nice thing that is really important to people, and Infusionsoft is obviously picked up on, is we want really good customer service, and we want to feel like we're looked after. So just showing some of their staff in a really kind of happy, smiley way with lots of different types of people, different age groups, is a really good way of kind of building credibility, and it allows us to trust that company a little bit more. And then we're pretty much finishing the site now with a download report. So they're going to try and capture our details again, and a nice kind of clean image. You'll see this, the rest is full width, whereas this is slightly set in, and that's just to draw the user's eye to it. So again, a really, really nice way of doing it. So check out all of this above, guys. This is learning from the big guys of how they're designing their sites to build lots of credibility, to get across how good they are. I mean, just for me looking over this with you guys, I want to start using this software. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Cheers, guys. Bye.